Hey guys, it's Brent. Welcome. It is Saturday, and I'm back with another episode of Brainwashed for you. Today, it's all about GameStuck. I'm going to explain what that is in just a minute. Hope you're having a great weekend, no matter where you are in the world today. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and it is beautiful today. Of course, every day is beautiful. We're alive and well. So today, let's get right into it. It's a deep one. The truth shall set you free. The truth shall make you unstuck. GameStuck is a place you definitely do not want to be, at least according to my definition. It warrants a separate discussion because so many people are, in fact, right there at GameStuck. So what is it? Well, think about it, because it's exactly what it sounds like. It's people who are stuck in games that are either over or that they clearly can't win. My message is just as simple and obvious. Clean up your act. Look and know whether a game is over or not. And if it is, close the game board and move on. Create another game and play that, and play it to win. The truth is that you can change your mind. It's totally okay to do that. Here's a clear-cut example we can share from common experience. I call it the United States of America and the game of frontiersmanship. That game consisted of build like hell, just keep pushing to new ground, putting up more things. In my view, it's now clearly over. But here we are, struggling to the last, trying to keep it alive. The result of refusing to acknowledge that it's over, close the board, and move on is producing a disastrous mix. A disastrous mixture of events that have been well documented: global warming, urban sprawl, pollution, crime records, and the virtual destruction of this unbelievably beautiful planet. Look, I told you a couple lessons ago about an uncle of mine, who had really no formal education, but became a millionaire, really with no effort at all. And he won that game. But you know what? He's now stuck in trying to keep that game going. He sold his business. And what happened is the company that bought him out proceeded to install all kinds of fancy new systems for him to use. And he neither agreed with them, he didn't comprehend them, he didn't know what they were doing to his game. In fact, when he sold it, it became their game, not his game. He's no longer at source. And if he simply looked and knew that and acknowledged it, he'd move on and keep doing what he'd been doing all his life, being out there on the razor blade of choice, looking for what was coming down the river. Instead, he's now horribly stuck in what was, in an old game, one that's clearly over for him. And he's trying to make them wrong about what they did to his company. Got to clean up your act. Doesn't matter how successful you've been in the past or if you haven't found success yet. It's still the same. Your mindset is destroying your life. Look at your games and get at the truth for you. Look and know if those games are going your way. And if they're not, close that game board and move on to something else. You're just wasting your time. Create another game and play that to win. Why do you insist on punishing yourself? There are endless examples of this unhappy phenomenon in action. Look at the number of people who are stuck in relationship games that are clearly, definitely over. Anyone on the outside can look in and see that, but they just can't. And instead of getting to the truth of the matter with themselves and the other person, then communicating that truth without making anyone wrong, they stick around. They try to rationalize what they're doing. How many times have you heard, she needs me, he needs me, we're staying together for the sake of the kids? Stop lying to yourself. The river of life goes on and you're running out of film. Look at all the business games that are run up by frustration flagpoles for a lifetime. Those guys, buttoned down in their little monkey suit all day long, get unglued when they reach the truth. At the end of the day, man, I've got to get out of this rat race. And who do you see on the train the next morning trying to go to row against his river? That guy. If there's any sense to those games, I wish someone would point it out to me, because in 30 years of working with the human mind, I have never figured it out. Now, I'm not suggesting that everyone's stuck in their games. What I'm saying is that one hell of a lot of people are. And one good way to tell is by very close observation. In other words, when you hear someone bitching endlessly about how the world is doing it to me, you have a fair indication that he is stuck somewhere on his path. Clearly, some people are on rivers that are flowing with the commuter trains and the business scenes, and they have grins on their faces. Some people are flowing naturally with the hippie game, with the mom game, and on and on and on. Look at people's faces. You'll see what I mean. Get the idea that those who are floating along in their inner tubes aren't trying. And then get the notion that for every existing game, some people are at source with it. They created it, and they get to hand out the problems and make the rules. They are the gurus of that game. So what game are you playing? What games are you playing? Are they yours, or are they someone else's? Look and know that the great unwashed masses are acting. They're just trying to play, hoping to discover the secret that will finally let them escape from the drudgery of going further downhill every day. They hope, hope against hope, that something, somehow, will somehow turn up and let them enjoy life for once. That will relieve them of the weight of the sliding roller coaster car that they call their lives. Now you know that there's no hope in sight, only help. And after that, one is faced with a choice of moving up through that beam of light and getting to a condition called acceptance, or of continuing to wallow around down there in the fishbowl effect at the very bottom. You can't get any lower. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and you missed some of the earlier episodes, they are all linked down below. You don't want to miss this. This is the roadmap. If you're struggling, if you're not happy, if you're anxious, if you don't have joy and bliss and success and abundance in every single way, these are the pieces of knowledge, the nuggets of gold that you need to start mining in your life. When you get to the point of acceptance, you look and you know that the truth is you cannot edit the pictures of the past. It's over. So you begin to run your life by letting the past alone. Totally. You turn around and you face forward. The password is what's coming. The pointless question becomes what happened, unless you're running the tape just to look at it and not in a futile attempt to make changes. That is what we all do. If you're looking at those pictures of the past because you need the information, that's one thing. If you're looking at those pictures of the past and living in them and trying to change them and trying to justify the mistakes that you made or the choices that you made, you are in a losing game. When you really get with the fact that only you have the camera and that the tape will never stop running as long as you're around, then you'll see you want to control what goes on that tape. You don't let just everything go on there because you're responsible for it. You are the director of this movie. This life is your movie. You wrote it, you're directing it, you're starring in it. You can change it anytime you want. Now listen, I'm going to tell you something else about total responsibility, because that's what you have to take. Where you are now is your choice. You got yourself there. Stop blaming parents, people when you grew up, friends, teachers, coaches, siblings. Forget it and let that crap go. Take total responsibility for where you are. And let me tell you, I know it is a rough place to get to. And the reason for that probably relates to all those pictures from your childhood. You know, you were always able to dodge some portion of responsibility, even it's tiny, because you were just a kid. And now your mind tells you to take advantage of that whenever you can. It's easier than standing up and saying, I am causing this. I pause here. I can say this again, but this is huge. You are responsible for wherever you are right now. Don't care. You're not different. You're not the only, but you don't understand. It's bullshit. Those are excuses. Take total responsibility. Have you ever fully acknowledged the hard fact that you are on your own? Are your parents still playing a game with you that allows you to skip the responsibility for some portion of your life? Are you stuck there? Look at your life and get at the truth of the matter. It's not news to you that people get stuck in games like this all the time. And to get out of them is such a simple process. But people stay trapped in these games for their entire lives. Think about it. Entire existence on this planet. Start by looking exactly where the other person is and open with an acknowledgement of that. There's no need to make them wrong. Just tell the truth, not what they want to hear. Mother, I can understand that you care deeply for me. And I see that you still like to think of me as your little child, your little boy. All you wanted is to be sure that I'm okay, but I've got my own life to live, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to do that. And I'll be all right. Or whatever the truth is for you. Because you'll see when and if you look that the truth is a beautiful way to get unstuck from games that aren't working. Games that you aren't winning. Games that are clearly over. In fact, it just might be the only way to get unstuck without making anyone wrong. Look at the world and see how much time and valuable tape is spent by people spouting about one subject when that's not what they have on their minds at all. Like people who insist they want to stop, they want to talk about solving their sex problem when it's the relationship that isn't working. Or people who insist they want to talk about your relationships and how involved you are when what they really have in mind is who controls your life. Or people who talk about how right and reasonable they are when what's really bothering them is that they're frustrated about losing all of these games. This is an entire game in itself, and it has tremendous numbers of people that are horribly stuck. The game of lying to yourself or refusing to deal with the real issues as they come up, of pretending that you're not bothered by it, by trying to forget about it. Get this, the truth is simply that lying does not work, and that's the only reason you should junk it. It doesn't matter whether you're lying to yourself or you're lying to someone else, and it doesn't work because your mind won't let you get away with it. Oh no, you've got to survive by using it once. So your mind will store those pictures for you, whether you like it or not, and serve them up again and again. So you get to build lies on top of lies until you can't figure out the truth anymore. Your reality is made up of so many lies you are not seeing true, clear reality in front of you. What else is that called? Losing the game. That's what it's called. The other option is you've got to go through the truth as it comes up. Acknowledge it. Accept it. Scream it from the mountaintops. Tell it to other people. The hard fact is that you're doing nothing but wasting more of the valuable present when you lie. And you're committing yourself to wasting more time in the future because the issue will be back to haunt you over and over again. There's an old saying, I don't know where it came from, and it happens to be one of the things I saw spray painted on the side of a building when I was performing at the Olympics a few years ago in Rio. And it's the line we all know. The truth shall make you free. The truth shall set you free. But it's the truth shall make you free. And for the very first time, as I looked at that, I realized, it's not entirely true. You're already free. What the truth will do is get your mind and its false survival pictures out of this game. The mechanism is a simple one. It begins with the fact that you won't have your head in the sand anymore. You'll refuse to stand out there in the river on a rock, casting your fishing line backwards into the past, trying to false hook the truth in your old pictures. You'll be acknowledging the truth as it goes by in your life, facing forward with the breeze in your face, watching the truth in front of you reality. Real reality. Now, I don't want you to take my word for that. Go and find out for yourself. My experience is that there's no feeling quite like the one you get when you get to the truth. You are the captain of the ship called you. If you are the love boat, you are your own Captain Stubing. You're setting the course, the speed, and you're out there on the bridge steering. You're not hiding below decks, even in a storm, because you know where you're going and you know that you're going to get there. And life is one of the easiest processes you have to encounter. You look forward to getting up every day just to see what you're going to create and where you're going to go. And you know in your heart that you're as free as the breeze. All along, we spend our lives in chains and shackles. We never realize that the key to unlock it and to free ourselves is in our pocket all along. Only us, only we can grant that to ourselves. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Powerful stuff. Next time, on Monday, we're going to be going on to You Are Already Perfect and Already Genuine. And if you don't think so, I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to show you how you can see that in yourself. So that's coming up on Monday in the next episode of Brainwashed. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm telling you, the information here is powerful. It's powerful. If there's something that you want to know, if you have a question or you have a comment about any one of these videos, and remember, I'm going to link them down below, but make sure you leave your comment down below as a message. Let me know if there's anything you want to talk about or anything you want to know, and I'll make sure I touch on it in a future episode. All right. If you have not joined our Facebook community, what are you waiting for? This is the brain of the entire family right here, of our entire group. Everything springs from this. We are like-minded people. We're banded together. And we realize that to make change in the world, we have to change ourselves. Self-empowerment is really taking control of our own lives. Shit canning the excuses, letting go of the past, setting goals and making them happen, making positive choices, getting rid of all that negativity in our lives. We literally create a new reality. So we'd love to have you as a member. Come on, take a look. It's facebook.com/groups/students of self-empowerment. Facebook.com/groups students of self-empowerment. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are trying to get the subscriber count up there. We have over 200 videos for you. 200. There's something there for everyone. And we certainly appreciate your help getting the word out. This is no longer just a group or a community. This is a movement. Literally, to change the world, we change ourselves. And then everything starts to happen by osmosis. It's an amazing thing. One thing I know about is the human mind. I've studied it for 30 years. We have the most incredible supercomputer ever invented, but we're born with it and never given the manual that tells us how to use the damn thing. When you go through school, nobody ever tells you about focusing, and they don't give you all the things you really need to know. It's all bullshit that you're never going to learn, right? You don't need it in life. So we'd love to have you come take a look. Please. The way you can help us is you can help us with our engagement. Like everything, share everything, comment on everything, subscribe to the YouTube channel, tell your friends and family. We're not trying to sell you something here. We're trying to give you the tools you need to change your life. This is our motivation. This is our passion in life. So make sure you subscribe. YouTube.com/TaylorWebTelevision. And again, we're not about the hard sell. I'm going to mention this really quick. I have my personal mindset coaching program. I take 10 students each time. We do 6 months, one-on-one. We do meet once a week for an hour via Zoom. And it's fantastic. If you are ready to start making changes in your life, we have one spot open. Go to brentwebb.info/coaching. You can read all about it. You can send me an email if you need to. But I am telling you, it's time to stop hitting the snooze button on your life. The life that you dreamed about. You dreamed about it for a reason. You never dream of something you can't do. Trust me. If you're ready to make those changes, I can help. So why don't you go take a look. brentwebb.info/coaching. All right. I will be back on Monday with another episode of Brainwashed. I'll also be back this weekend. We're going to do a live Q&A at some point. So drop your questions down below if you have them. All right. We certainly appreciate you being with us today. And again, it all comes to this. The mindset Our mindset is destroying us. It was created when we were children. Our subconscious mind locked everything in. It is now the programming that's running. Easy. All we have to do is get in there and change that programming. And to do that, we have to reach the subconscious. Everything else is surface level Band-Aid when you're working on the outer mind. You got to get in there to change it. We show you how to do that. All right. So join us back here Monday for the next episode. And don't worry, be happy and feel good. See you Monday.